What guarantee do any of us have that we have the right to be served because they keep rolling stuff back? Well, nobody has the right to be served. That's the only correct logical answer. There is no enshrined right to someone else's private property, services, or labor. Where do I have the right to your thing? Where is that? Property rights have been overlooked in this country in many, many ways for a long time at the service of social issues. Now, again, I think some of the ideas, the motivation for some of these social issues is particularly noble. I think the discrimination in the South that was widespread and enforced by government law was bad. Not how I would do things, not the way I would prefer my community to operate. But I have this interesting mechanism where I can vote with my feet and vote with my wallet, which is something we used to actually value in this country. The idea of putting our property and our labor where our heart is not an issue. Either way. When it comes to government, we have a different question. Always, always, always. The government should be restricted from discriminating based on damn near anything. I can't imagine what grounds we would give the government to discriminate. Why would we? We're all participants in our own government as long as we are citizens. And to me, that is the only discrimination that should apply. Citizenship versus non-citizenship. And I actually think citizenship should mean something again, not just place under jurisdiction personally, but that's a different discussion for a different day. I do not have a right to compel property or labor into my possession, even if a forced transaction between me and the other party occurs. But everybody just assumes that we do because, well, it's right. Not really. In fact, I think we said something a little while ago and may even have had a little bit of a slap fight over the idea of one demographic of people being entitled by right to labor of another demographic of people. We called that something. What was it? God, it's this weird, very obscure term. It doesn't come up very often anymore. Slavery, that's what it was. It was slavery was the term. When we said that any demographic was entitled by law or the Constitution to the labor against the will of another demographic, we said that's not actually good. Not only did we have a law about it, we had a war about it, we passed constitutional amendments specifically about not doing that. And then we used those constitutional amendments to do the exact same thing in a little bit different way. And we justified it because we didn't see it as bad. And it's not as bad. Let's be very clear on that. The forced labor of slavery is different from being forced to sell someone a sandwich. Way different. But the principle behind the idea is that you have a right to someone else's property right in their own body and time. A lack of respect for property rights is at the bottom of all of this. And that's what slavery was. Slavery was removing the bundle of property rights that Black people predominantly, lots of Irish, but who cares about them? Some Asians, but they couldn't see the issue. It was about depriving them of their property right in their own time, their own labor, and their own bodies. And property rights are actually the basis of this nation. But I digress.